It's 1 a.m. and I ain't tired. I can stand right here and talk all night if you want. I ain't got no place to be, no one's waiting for me. I won't lie, I'm into you. Got like a million ideas what we could do. Cause I'm not gonna let you slip away, I won't waste this.
Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm going to be doing some cleaning, some cooking, some gardening, and some organizing. And you guys are even going to get to see a little bit of painting because Jeff is painting the kitchen today. So if you guys are looking for some motivation to get some stuff done around your house, this is definitely the video for that. Now I'm just going to get started by having a little bit of breakfast before I get anything done. I'm always eating on the go because it's always cooking for the kids and doing laundry and cleaning and organizing. So I'm not even sitting down to eat. I'm just kind of eating as I start cleaning the kitchen. And I'm totally sneaking a strawberry marshmallow candy before the kids find my stash. Do any of you guys hide your treats from your kids, like just to have a little something for yourself? I know one of my friends does, and she has some clever hiding spots in her house, and occasionally her kids will find them. I don't really hide them like really good. I'll just kind of hide them in the cabinet, and if they find them, they find them. So I'm just starting out with some cleaning in the kitchen. I still have to make some breakfast for the kids. So they wanted some scrambled eggs, so I'm just cooking up some bacon here. And in the meantime, I'm just doing a little bit of tidying at the same time while the bacon is cooking. It's called multitasking, and I know you moms know exactly what I'm talking about. So while the bacon is cooking, I'm just going to try and get this dishwasher unloaded. Alright, so the bacon is ready, and I'm just going to take some eggs and crack them into a bowl. So my boys love eggs, and they eat eggs, I would say probably 4 to 5 times a week for breakfast. So we prepared them all sorts of different ways. Sometimes scrambled eggs, sometimes just over easy, sometimes poached. They don't really love hard-boiled eggs, but once in a while we will have that. I'm just adding a dash of milk into the bowl because when you whip up your eggs, if you add a little bit of milk in there, it makes them really light and fluffy. And before I go ahead and add the eggs to the pan, I'm just going to scoop out some of the bacon grease here because I don't want to be serving up my kids a bunch of like heart attack on a plate. Alright, so these will be ready in just a couple of minutes here, and the kids will be fed, and I'll be good to go hopefully until lunchtime to keep working on my projects around the house.
But the days pass and now it's so long ago. Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be? Maybe somewhere you think about me too. I wonder where are you now? Wonder where are you now?
As I'm loading the dishwasher here, the clip pops out of place and I don't really know how to fix it, so I'm just going to do what I can here until Jeff can take a look at it. As you guys are watching this video, you're probably wondering what you see in the top left-hand corner of the screen. That is Jeff's scaffolding. Right now he is painting down on that end of the kitchen, so he will be working his way over here. That's why I'm trying to hurry up and get the dishes all put away before he makes his way to this side of the kitchen.
Did you make it? Did you break free? Did you manage to be who you wanna be?
And here is Jeff painting the kitchen. We are working really hard to try to get this house done as soon as possible, especially while the whole stay-at-home thing is going on. This is the perfect time for us to get ahead on these renovations. Now, I know I mentioned in one of my previous videos that we were going to be painting this kitchen in the color Grey Mist by Benjamin Moore. So that is the color we decided to go with, and that's the color that he is painting it with right now. And here's a little peek of the hot mess that we are dealing with right now. This is just in the kitchen, and the kitchen mess is actually not that bad. It's just all of the other clutter and everything that we had to pile in the center of the room, which is gonna slowly get organized once the kitchen is painted and things start getting placed back where they belong. And here you'll see my glass go tumbling down right into the dishwasher. I'm so lucky that nothing broke, because that is a glass and it totally just smashed right into the plates, but nothing broke, luckily. So here I'm just cleaning up the rest of the dishes that are in the sink, and I did pull out some pulled pork because tonight I'm going to make some pulled pork sandwiches, and I will be sharing that recipe with you guys a little further in this video. I have so much I want to say to you, much I want to say, but now that the dishes are all put away, I'm just going to sanitize the kitchen countertops. And speaking of countertops, I'm really hoping that we are still able to get the new ones that we were putting on order. I probably won't find out for a few more days, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to be on hold for a little bit or what. I'm really hoping that we can still get our countertops in, and Jeff is the one who would be installing it, so it's not like we really need anybody coming in here with the whole quarantine thing going on. We really just need the materials. And I don't know if this is what it's like for you guys, but Chandon is back in the kitchen already. So I highly doubt it's even been an hour since we finished breakfast. In this video it seems like a lot shorter, but it's probably been about an hour of cleaning, and they're already looking for some more food. They're growing boys and they have really big appetites, and I rarely deny them food as long as they're eating it all and they're making good choices and they're eating balanced meals. But I don't know if you guys are dealing with the same thing at home, but it's like kitchen is 24/7. Like before I even get it tidied up, we're already making more food. How are you guys dealing with the kids at home and constantly in the kitchen? Like, I know I've seen a lot of that on Instagram lately about moms talking about how their kitchen is constantly being used. Do you guys have any kind of tips or tricks that you are using? Like, are you prepping any kind of snacks or anything? I saw this one really neat idea where each kid had a little bin with their snacks for the day in it on the counter, and then that's what they had. I haven't gone as far as doing anything like that. We just are kind of free for all, but I think that's a really neat idea if you want to keep the mess down in your kitchen and just have a plan of what you're going to be eating for the day. So there are just a couple more dishes that I found that I need to wash here, and then that is it for the kitchen, and I can move on with the other things on my list. Okay, so next I am picking out paint colors for the stairwell and the upstairs hallway. Originally, I was gonna go with gray mist as well, but I changed my mind because I find that our stairwell tends to get really marked up with kids' fingerprints because of them putting their hands on the walls. So we're gonna go with something a little bit darker. Alright, so I better get dinner going because you know what it's like with all these little rugrats. They are playing hard right now outside, so they're going to be starving by the time it's time for dinner. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the pork tenderloin into the crock pot. I do have my own recipe that I came up with. This was a few years back, and that recipe card looks like it's been used quite a few times because there are some splash marks on it. But I am modifying it a little bit today because I just tend to eyeball recipes that I've done numerous times. I just quickly glanced at it to remind me basically of the type of ingredients I use, and then I just go ahead and just put in whatever the heck I'm feeling like putting in there that day. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using some crushed garlic, and I'm just going to put that into this bowl. And if you're wanting to use the same recipe that I use, I can definitely go ahead and put that in the description box down below for you guys. Next up, I'm just going to season the meat with some celery salt and pepper. Okay, so here is one of the modifications to the recipe today. I did not have any Coke on hand, so I decided to try using some beer that we had. So I'm using half a can of that beer over there, and I'm just mixing it with some brown sugar to sweeten it up a bit too. Now the reason I'm using beer, or like in the other recipe I would use Coke, is because apparently it tenderizes the meat. So I don't really know any other way to make it. That's just the way I have been making it for all of these years, and it turns out really good. So now I'm just going to set that aside to cook for the rest of the afternoon, and now I'm going to head into the living room where I am going to be cleaning out that board game area because it is a giant disaster, and I've been talking about cleaning out this cabinet for a while. So I finally pulled everything out of here, and I'm just vacuuming it out right now before I go and organize the board games and place them nicely in here. So now that that cabinet is all cleaned out, I can go ahead and start placing the board games in it. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put the ones that we use the least in first. That way we don't have to dig through the cabinet and mess up all the games to get to the ones that we want to use. So the ones that we are using more frequently, I'm going to try to leave those ones on top.
No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me?
And if you guys are enjoying this video and you want to see more homemaking videos from me like this one, please go ahead and subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up because that helps me out tremendously, and I would love to have you guys be a part of my YouTube family.
Though I'm broken, I'm still hoping I could be with you. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you.
You guys, I did not think that the games were all going to fit in this cabinet, but I was able to fit them in. I think it looks so good. So now I'm just putting away the rest of the items that are hanging around here. Some of those things that were in that cabinet are going to be going for donation, or they're going to be going away in the storage area. So I'm just going to clear away the rest of the kids' toys and try to stuff them in the cabinets here. Most of these cabinets are filled with Legos and toys that they are using frequently.
if you come back to me. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Thought that we were meant to be. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant.
And I'm starting to collect more pieces of decor for these bookshelves, although I haven't really been able to buy anything lately. I just wanted to keep the lake house theme with the driftwood and the greenery and just anything that is having to do with like the lake house and just really pretty and bright natural type items on those bookshelves. Alright, so when I was at the dollar store last, I saw a bunch of gardening supplies and I thought it'd be a fun thing to do with the kids just to keep them busy at home, something fun to do. And I figured if this whole thing lasts all summer long, then we'll be home and not traveling all summer, so we'll be able to tend to our little garden. So these are the supplies I picked up. We're just gonna take this soil here, put it in a little tray, and then I got a variety of seeds here. So we're just gonna. Oh, this one here is gonna be kept in the kitchen by the window, and I'm gonna put. That's gonna be for basil and thyme. And I think those are the only two I'm gonna do in there. Just basil and thyme because we use those a lot. And these ones are they're just more. I don't know. I just bought a whole bunch of stuff and then we'll figure out how we want to do this. And then I got these little labels here so we can just label what we planted in which containers. So, you guys want to just get started? Our little shovel here. I don't know what it's called. It's not a shovel, but whatever. Okay, you guys get down like off the table and then we'll start with.
I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you.
I thought these trays had like why do they have holes in the bottom? That's not going to be good. How are we going to water it if there's holes on the bottom? So I'm not impressed.
Water it.
That one too.
Oh, can we take it at the bottom?
Not good.
Can we maybe take it at the bottom?
Yes, we'll just have to make sure we don't put too much water in.
Or what about, this is not too hard.
And I totally recommend this activity if you guys are looking for something to do with your kids while you guys are at home. This is something where you can totally just buy one tray. You don't have to go ahead and buy all the stuff I did. Even just one tray, you could plant some lettuce or some tomatoes, and then all you have to do is just buy some outdoor flower pots and fill those with soil, and then you can just replant these I don't know what you call these, seedlings. Once they sprout, you can replant those in those outdoor pots and just let them be like on your porch or on your deck, and the kids just have a lot of fun watching them grow from seeds into full-size vegetables. And not only that, but this is great hands-on learning for them. So like I said, highly recommend it. Definitely do something like this with your little kiddos at home.
No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if
So now that we filled up these little pots, I'm just using the other end of a pen just to make little holes basically in the soil where I can put the seeds into. And every different package of seeds is going to have instructions on how far apart to do your spacing. So that means like how far apart your seeds should be planted, as well as how deep you should plant the seeds in the soil. And then I just noticed this as I was editing this video. Those little pots look like they all have faces, like a shocked face. I see two eyes and like this open mouth, and I can't stop laughing now that I'm looking at it. But anyways, just to explain what I'm doing here is I'm just using some tweezers just to move around the soil to just gently cover up the seeds that I just planted. Now the reason I have the tweezers is that some of these seeds are so tiny that you can barely handle them with your fingertips. So the tweezers make it really easy just to pick up the seeds and place them really precisely where you want it to be. And the boys are doing such a good job helping out. They are having a lot of fun planting all of the seeds and helping fill each container with soil. And the garbage bag on the table is going to make for an easy cleanup when this is done. Alright, so it's been a super busy day at home. Everybody is starving right now, so I'm just going to get the pulled pork shredded, and I'm going to toast the buns, get some fries ready because I'm going to make some hand cut fries and put together a salad. So I'm just going to get to that right away so I can get these monsters fed. So you guys can see my my crock pot is broken, so that's why I have this on it. I have to order a new one. Pulled pork sandwiches is one of the easiest dinners that you can make, especially when you just want to throw something in a pot and then have it ready a few hours later. So right now all I'm doing is shredding up the pork, and then the reason I'm shredding it first before I take out the excess juice is so that way the pork meat has a chance to absorb the juices, and then that's why I take out the juices last. So now what I just did was I added some barbecue sauce and just a little dash of maple syrup because it just adds a unique flavor to it. And then on the bun, I just add a little bit more barbecue sauce and some mustard, and then I take the pulled pork and put it right on the sandwich. Now sometimes we'll use some shredded cheddar cheese on there, but the boys did not feel like having cheese today, so we just ate them like that. Oh, and I should mention that I did toast the buns in the oven just a little bit so that they were nice and warm. Alrighty, I just have to finish a little bit of the gardening here. What I did was I used my chalk pen to label these little containers, and it worked out perfectly, way better than those stickers. Those stickers were not sticking to these containers. So the chalk marker was the best bet, and it actually looked really cute with the chalk writing on the containers.
I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt. We didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor as dirt. All we had was time. Hey, do you remember?
And in case you're wondering what we decided to plant, we are doing some carrots, some Roma tomatoes, some lettuce, dill, green beans, yellow beans, some peas, and what else do I have? Beets, zucchini, and some basil and thyme. I may be missing one or two things, but that's basically the gist of what we are planting. And normally we don't have a lot of time for a garden because we travel a lot in the summer, but I figure we probably won't be doing a lot of traveling this summer. So this is probably the summer that I will be able to take care of these plants. Even though it's not going to be a big garden, I'll be doing most of these plants, if not all of them, in outdoor flower pots that I'm just going to keep outside. So it's just going to be easy and low maintenance, but this is definitely a opportunity to grow your own plants, especially if we're going to be home a lot, which I'm kind of not counting on being able to do a lot of traveling for hockey because the way things are going, it doesn't look like everything is going to be opening right up again anytime soon. So for now, the plants are going to go over there on the bookshelf where I just cleared all of those games from earlier today. That wasn't really the plan. I didn't really have a plan, but I guess that's going to be a good spot to put them. And I just lined that shelf with some garbage bags. These are extra thick garbage bags, and I just want to protect the shelf from any damage from water. So I'm just going to leave those plants there for a few weeks until they sprout because I don't want them to get damaged by the frost. Alright, now that everything is planted and set aside over here, I'm just going to go ahead and give the seeds a really good water. This will allow them to sprout because if you don't water the soil enough, then the water won't get to the seeds and they just will not sprout for you. So Chandon is just helping me out over here, and we are going to make sure that each and every one of these little pots has enough water in them.
Hey, do you remember 20-something years ago?
So that is it for our little gardening session here. I'm definitely glad that I went ahead and picked up this stuff because I'm so excited to see what grows and how our little garden does here, and I'm definitely going to make sure I update you guys in my future videos, and I'll probably include us replanting these in the outdoor flower pots in one of my videos. Alright guys, so I did a ton of stuff today. I am getting super tired, and I still have a video that I'm going to start editing. I'm wrapped up in my frozen blankie here, so I'm just going to go snuggle up on the couch, get some work done, and get these little rugrats to bed because I can hear, I think 2 of them have crawled out of bed already, so I'm going to go see what's going on. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
I'd pack my bags right now.